Hey guys, Dani here with Skye Gardens, and we are at the flower farm this morning, and my stepdad is going to be coming over to harvest his first batch of honey from the honeybees. So I'm going to film everything and give you guys an explanation on what all is going on as he explains it to me, and we will be getting out some locally grown honey. So for the moment, here is what everything looks like. You can see the ladies are active, it's sunny. We still have a lot of flowers around the property that they get to eat from. And we just have these 2 hives for now, but they've been working really hard and putting in a lot of work to make honey. So I'm excited to see how it looks here shortly. So what we're doing here is he is spraying this super smelly spray. I put a picture of it on the video. And this is gonna go on this tray, and it will sit on top of the hive to help force the bees down into the bottom. So right now he's taking off the top parts of the first hive. The top tray that's a little darker than the other wood, that is where he puts in water or food. And usually he feeds the bees maybe in the winter or the springtime right before they become super active. But we're gonna take this tray off, and it can get a little stuck because the bees will be putting maybe some wax and things in it, so he's gotta pry it off. And once he pries that off, he puts the, I'm gonna call it the smelly tray, on top. And you wanna let it sit there for at least 5 minutes or maybe longer to see if the bees are going to go down toward the bottom, so that way when you go to take the top box off, there's not going to be quite as many bees inside. Now you can see here that my stepdad has his smoker out. This helps calm the bees so that hopefully they won't be flying around as active and as likely to sting you, and it'll help maybe force them back into the hive. So he's taking the top tray off and putting it back on because we realized that it needed some more time to sit. And now we're back out, and you can see all the bees have escaped. Well, not all the bees, but a lot of them have come outside the hive, and most of them should be down inside in the bottom. And so he's gonna pry off the top box so we can look at it and see if it is ready to harvest. And then perhaps look as well at the bottom one, which is actually in the middle here. Now when he looked at the top one, it actually was not ready to harvest, and he had only put that one on about a month ago. So we decided to put that one back, and here he is removing the bottom one, and this one should be pretty full. And you can see he's having to pry it off. It's a little bit stuck, and it was ridiculously hot outside, so going a little slower than normal, especially my stepdad. He is in his full bee suit. It was very heavy, and so as soon as he put it down, I used my leaf blower to blow off as many of the bees as I could. So after we got the boxes off, we came inside where he had set up like all his harvesting equipment, and we started to take the trays out, and here he is just removing the caps. So what the bees do is they start making the beeswax on the trays, and then they make the honey inside, and then they cap it off when it is pretty much like ready to harvest. So that's partially how you know that it's ready, is it's capped off or sealed, as you can say. And so in order to harvest the honey, you have to scrape off the capping here, which is really just like beeswax. And so here he is. We're going to do both sides because you're going to want to harvest from both sides, and you can use a scraper or a knife. And another way that you know that the honey is ready is because it's capped off. If it's not, then you need to check the moisture content. If the honey has too high of a moisture content, then it will ferment very easily at some point after you harvest it and turn sour and not be any good. And so you know it's ready to harvest when it's capped off and you have to scrape it off like that. So here he is putting it in this spinner, and I'm sorry you guys, I don't know the technical names for a lot of the equipment. And here's using the knife to scrape off one of the other trays. So you end up putting 3 inside. You can put the top on if you want, but he left it off so I could film. And pretty much you spin it and it throws all the honey off on the sides and it slowly drips down to the bottom. And what is left on the tray is just the beeswax, which you can totally harvest and use if you want. And that's what we are ending up doing. But you'll spin them and then you take the trays out and turn them around and then spin it some more. And at the bottom, you see the honey is gonna pour out here. There's going to be chunks of beeswax, and so we strained it through a double filter into the bottom bucket where we then pour it into bottles. So here is one of the bottles. We were able to get about 40 8-ounce bottles, which is a pretty decent amount just from 2 boxes. And it's a plastic squeeze bottle that my stepdad ordered with a little cap. It's got a nutrition label on the back, and then on the front is some stickers that he had made that shows our flower farm and his name for his honey and his logo. So I pretty much offered these for sale to people in my neighborhood for $10 a piece and sold out ridiculously quickly. So that is the whole process for harvesting honey. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll definitely be showing when we do some more. Supposedly, we may be able to get another batch around November, but definitely for sure in the springtime. We're probably going to buy another hive or 2 at least, and the other boxes should fill up. So we will have a lot of honey, and we're also going to be harvesting the beeswax. We pretty much, after we bottled everything, we put all the equipment outside, and the bees actually came back and ate and cleaned off all the honey. And what is just left is all the frames have just the beeswax. So we can scrape it off, boil it down, filter it, and use it to make candles and other products, which I think will be another fun project to work on. But I'm excited to learn more about bees and beekeeping and use the honey. It's very sweet, and I was very excited to have some to offer. And apparently everybody loves local honey. So if this is something that you've thought about doing, it's a relatively, I'd say, easy hobby. It's fun. I will say we all got stung. I got stung once on the neck. My stepdad got stung a couple times on his hand. My mom got stuck on her hand, but after a while you kind of get used to it, and it's just a little bit of a hazard of the trade. So anyways, but yeah, we'll be showing more in the future, and I will have more local honey for sale in the near future, and maybe at some point we can start shipping it. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you in my next video.